Hello, everyone. We are live. Welcome to another awesome episode of the CGUK Bargain Bin Show. And I want to say something up front before we carry on with the show. I am willing to bet this is going to be a seamless show. No technical difficulties. No mics muted. We'll see how far we get with that. Anyway, let's check the chat really quick before we get started. We got Tank Ferret. How do you do, sir? COVID Kev, we've got Bristolian Dave, who's here today. We've got Jacobus Gotex and Mike, Jimmy, Letitia, Dave Bruin. What up, lovelies? And Burnt Scribe is here. How's it going, dude? Yeah, good to see everyone here. And right, without further ado, let's bring on today's host. Bristolian Dave, how you doing, dude?
All right, me babbers. How's it going?
What do you reckon? Do you reckon we'll go with 0 mutes today?
No, you jinxed it by saying that. Let's go. What'll happen is halfway through the stream will cut out, or something will happen.
Let me clarify this for everyone who watched last night's stream. I wasn't even on the StreamYard's page to mute the stream. So I have no idea how it happened. And then I watched the stream back, and just mid-sentence, it cuts me off.
I don't know, man. You just jinxed. That's what it is.
StreamYard has out for us CGers. Anyway, here's Jacobus. How you doing, dude?
Oh, I'm very good, thanks. How's everyone else?
Yeah, we're good, I think.
Good, mate. I like the curtains. Beautiful curtains.
What's this Bristolian MJ? Oh, Mary Jane. I was thinking Michael Jackson. I thought you.
Well, I would do the whole boob, but I don't know.
Michael Jackson didn't have boobs.
You're gonna have to show us how you got your hair like that and how you took that photo, Dave.
Oh, it's easy. Very easy. I'm flexible.
I'm waiting for him to bust out the cleavage first.
No, not on stream. That's only fans content, that is.
Oh yeah, $1.99 a month.
There's King Pen Arts in the chat. How you doing, dude? What has that chick got a beard? That chick's got an accent. Anyway, guys, so let's bring on our guest for the day. We got Mike. Hey, Mike, how you doing?
What up, lovelies? It's Bristolian Mike Jimmy. He's doing this in honor of me, by the way. He doesn't know it yet, but
yeah, there we go.
Neve says
Bristolian fans. There you go. That's the high note.
That was good. Bonus points for that one. So we had Mike on yesterday on my show, and he told us all about his awesome book, Life in Horror. But today, since he's our special guest, we can go in a little bit more in depth on his book. You can not restricted to that 10-minute time limit. So we'll talk to Mike about his book now in just a second, but then stay tuned because hopefully we'll have Piper on as well later on, as soon as she sees my message or whatever on Twitter. And we'll be discussing the whole J. Scott Campbell debacle and what happened this week in CG News. So anyway, Mike,
yes.
Take it away. Why don't you tell us a bit about yourself and your journey?
I'm Mike Jimmy de Bruin of Fairy Sonnets. This is a company I made roughly 3 years ago. And since then, we've published 10 books, Life on Korra 3 being the latest one. And we do anthologies, classic books, comics, all kinds of things together. And I have a team of creators working with me and for me. And yeah, we got a lot going on and a lot coming out soon. And Life on Korra is just one of many.
Hey, very cool. I tell you what, dude, why don't you share your screen with me and we can bring up the campaign and get into it a bit.
Yes. So, there we go.
COVID Kev says, Core 3 was... Oh, stay with me. COVID Kev says, Core 3 was wonderful. Can't wait for issue 4.
Thanks, man. I'm actually going to give you a preview of the first 10 pages in a little bit. So you can see what the coloring looks like on this issue. Because if you like the one on issue 3, 4 is going to blow you even more away.
Oh, really cool. Nina's just joined us. How you doing? Good to see you back. And I'll bring up your screen. So we got Life on Core. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this?
Life on Core 4 is another standalone story of 32 pages, where we look at one of the creatures on the world of Korra, which is this floating ball in space with continents orbiting it like planets, and a single cloud that supplies it all with its water. And for some weird reason, life manages to sustain on it and thrive even. And you get all kinds of weird little creatures like the Mysius. The Mysius are a race of creatures that have a very strict society where your inner talent defines who you are as a person and how you are set for life in your job and in your social standards and everything. And this is about the individual disagreeing with the idea of what society actually expects from them and how to fit in, how to cope with that frustration, and how to learn new skills while the world around you doesn't actually allow you to. And it's done in a very all ages, very child-friendly way, while still being able to be read as a very much mature story. And you can really read it in several levels. So currently it's on the sign-up stage. We're gonna give 30% or more discount on everyone who backs a physical goal for the next issue. And that means that instead of 10 euros, you can get the comic for only 7 euros. And not only that, but that counts for all physical goals. And shipping to the United States, if you looked at Level Korra 3 and went, oh, that shipping is pretty high, we managed to get it down to only 8 euros, thanks to Critical Blast. So even like the catch-up tiers, you're only paying 8 euro shipping, which is like 10 USD.
Yeah, that's great. Mike, I'm going to interrupt you a second just to say hello to a few people in the chat.
Yeah, of course.
We've got Waxworks. We've got the Graphic Goose, Bionic Bruh, and David Feed have all shown up. It's really good to see you guys checking out today's stream. Go on, David.
I just say Graphic Goose. All right, I can't grow a beard. Fuck you. All right, screw these guys. They all got beards. They got to grow beards because they ain't got a beautiful face like this. That's what this is. All right. So
yeah, but Jack just says sign up, and Dave will have to try and grow a beard.
I will, but all you'll get is like that.
I mean, to be fair, you've been trying for over 20 years, and you know.
I'm 28 now, so.
Guys, both of our other guests have shown up, so I'll bring them on the stream real quick. Let's say hello to Piper, and hello to Sally's. How we doing?
Oh,
hello.
Hello. I didn't know you were
Awesome.
Ditto.
What a nice surprise, family
That's
reunion.
that's a lot of Cockney, that is.
I'm sorry, I'm late. For some reason in my head, it was supposed to be 5 o'clock my time. I don't know why. So.
No problem.
I just watched the new Venom trailer.
What did you think?
Yeah, I liked the first one, but I didn't think I was gonna like the first one, and then I really did. So when I just saw this one, I was like, I'm quite looking forward to this. The only thing is, they made him sound a bit like the Cookie Monster.
They sounded like Rogan to me, and it really weirded me out.
I did like it. No, I like the first one when he refuses to climb up the outside of the building, and then he ends up pressing the lift, and you just hear "pussy," and I burst out laughing in the cinema when I heard that. I thought that was quite funny.
Yeah,
so,
no, that was good.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to it, and you know what's nice about it is it doesn't look woke, which I don't think you're going to get anything with Tom Hardy that's woke. Actually, to be fair, so that'll be all right.
Oh,
We'll see.
okay. Who else has seen the Venom trailer?
I've not watched it yet.
Nope.
No.
I've not had a
I
chance.
think it only came out yesterday or this morning.
So it was
But,
today, wasn't it? It came out.
Yeah.
Well, I've only seen people talking about it today.
Yeah.
I don't really watch movies, so I don't keep up with trailers either. I know, gasp.
Don't watch movies. Have you seen my channel? If not, go subscribe.
I mean, to be fair,
Yes, I have
Dave,
seen your
don't wa-
channel, and I am subscribed.
Oh, thank you so much, Mike. I appreciate it, mate.
There you
Dave don't
go.
watch movies. Every
And-
time we ask him about a film, he's never seen it.
Look, all right. I've watched a lot of films. All right, a lot of shit, like tons of shit. Ask me about a B movie, and I'll tell you about it. But yeah,
I watched this really crap film once, right? Where it was about this girl and she wanted to break into Hollywood. It was a horror movie, and it was one of them ones, you know, like when you just let Netflix carry on playing, and you
Sounds
end
like
up
porn.
watching these films, and you just can't even remember what you watched. This particular this girl was like, she wanted to break into Hollywood, and she met this guy, and he was like, I can give you, like, you know, eternal life, and therefore you'll always be able to do whatever. But she had to give him a blowjob in order to do it.
I called that straight away. Definitely porn.
Oh yeah.
And it was
Bloody
like,
hell.
I've seen that one.
but then like, once it happened, like her hair started falling out, her teeth started falling. It was really weird. I remember watching it going, what the hell am I watching? And then she ends up being like this vixen or like 1940s like vamp. And I'm like, I do not know what the hell is going on. So it was just the weirdest film I've ever seen in my life, to be fair. I don't remember what it was called.
Awesome.
that one called was it Starry Eyes?
That's it!
Yeah, I got that on DVD.
Holy fuck.
The one film you know, Dave.
The
Got
one
blowed
called
up in it.
I did watch a really good sort of B-rated film on Netflix, though. Again, I don't remember the title, but it will come to me because it was actually really good. This couple, they were a married couple, but then they split up because their son got killed in an accident, and they never got over it. But then it goes back like years in the future where they've sort of become friends again, and he's going round her house with his new partner, and she's got a partner, and it's the same house. It's the old house they used to live in, but there's loads of friends there that they all were used to be mutual friends, and there's a lot of like dinner conversations. But there's something really weird about the ex-wife's new boyfriend. It's a bit cultish, and it's not until like you get to the end that you realise he is in a cult, like the Manson family, and they live in Beverly Hills. And then all of a sudden, every house in Beverly Hills has got these like Belisha beacons out the front that they light up. And as they light up, it's like a symbol for everyone to kill the fuck out of everybody in the houses.
Oh, you've got to remember the name of that because now I want to watch it.
I think it's called The Invitation.
The Invitation.
Oh.
Yeah, I've seen that on Netflix. I haven't watched it, but
I'm pretty sure it's called The Invitation. Yeah.
I watched a B movie recently called Llamageddon, where an alien llama comes from outer space attacks a bunch of American high school students who are having a party in like these on like this ranch. And I've never seen a llama shoot lasers out of his eyes before, but now I have.
Fuck yeah, I love those disaster movies though. like the fucking monster of the weeks. Fucking Sharknado and stuff. Like so bad it's funny. Man, I love those.
I really liked, I don't know if you guys saw it, but it wasn't, people keep billing it as a remake, and it wasn't. The newest Blair Witch Project, where it's meant to be the girl's younger brother goes in search of what happens to her many years later. And I'll be honest, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was quite good. But it was, I really, really enjoyed it. Anyway, I'm sure you didn't get us on here to talk about this, boys. What are we here for?
Oh, no, that's cool.
I don't know. I lost it.
We were talking about Life on Korra issue 4.
Yeah, we were.
What else do we need to know about this project? When are we launching?
June 11th. And I'm probably going to launch together with the ladies over at Ragin.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're just going to have a good time. So I'll announce it properly once it comes around and everything is set up. But I figured I would switch my screen real quick and I'll show you the first 10 pages of the comic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do it. Because I've been waiting like to back this, but then you said you were doing number 4 and you can get all of them. I was like, I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna get number 4.
Yeah, no, you're gonna have your catch up tier. There we go. It's sharing.
Let's check this out.
So there we go. This is your introduction page for this issue.
I love the colors on it, man.
That.
Yeah,
I
about
don't
to
use
say
this word
that.
very often, but that's beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah.
You're right. You don't use that word often. Only when you talk
Well,
about me.
Fucking stuck with you.
When you saw
God,
that
Oh,
Like,
I like that, man.
yeah, I like my inks on this issue, but my colorist just blew it out of the ballpark.
yeah, I like what you
done
said
an
yesterday.
amazing job.
A lot of this is based in like real science, like the
Yes.
told you no red hues apart from pinks.
Yeah. So the reason there are like magenta and pink hues on this issue is because it's so deep underwater that the water, like the light frequencies, drop down enough that they become visible. But for the core itself in the previous issues, if you've read them, like there's no red, there's no yellows. And like especially here, like you actually see my colorist go, "Oh my god, I can use all colors now," and going completely insane with it. And you can see her having a blast. I mean, you can see me having a blast with these pages.
See, one thing I really like about your work, man, is your creatures. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
some of them are just crazy, but I never would have thought of something like that.
I'm putting it on my writers for the most part. Like, I created the world, I designed it, and for the most part, I just let my writers completely free in the sandbox. And like I just go, these are the rules. This is what you have to, keep in mind. These are the colors we cannot use unless these and these reasons. Go have fun. Like the creature I'm working on for issue 5, I still have to work out because my writer went magic, and I went, nope, we don't use magic in this series. Like everything needs to be able to be scientifically explained. So I'm working on that. But yeah, the pages are just too much fun to work on. It's nearly done as well. Like I'm just blasting through these.
Yeah, they look really good, dude. I would love to see a cartoon show of this. Like, each season is
I'd love to. I would personally like spam the fuck out of Netflix if they could make this into a series. Because they are episodical stories anyway.
Yeah.
And you build the creatures as you go. But it would cost a lot to have to redesign a new creature every episode, and then build on that. And so I unless someone actually comes to me, like, yeah, I want to turn this into a series, I don't think it's going to happen all that fast.
Yeah, either a show or a game would be cool with this, just to see these characters more. That's cool. I like why not. That's very cool.
And this is all traditionally inked by myself.
Is that all your colorist had to go from?
Yes.
Because, like the vast difference between them inks and them colors, like that really highlights.
Yeah,
awesome job.
She just
colorist has done.
Yeah, she just looks at a panel and she's like, "Oh, this is gonna happen, And even a flats, like I didn't design any coloring whatsoever on this. Like not even the characters had a set fur pattern or anything. That's completely her. And she just blows me away every single time that I see a new page arrive. And it's just wonderful to look at. So these are the pencils that, I do digital pencils. And then I print them out. And then you get the black and white.
Ah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that do it like that. I know Russ tends to do that as well.
Yeah.
He likes to
That's a good
And
idea.
this is what you get.
Let me blow you up. Are you going to be selling any of this artwork?
Oh yeah, no, it's every page will be for sale.
Oh, that's cool.
Every page, a couple of cover art. Myself and Rich Parada both did a ink version of the original cover, the main cover, and I put out a poll on, hey guys, which one do you prefer? His one, and I completely agree because he is a master inker. And both are going to be for sale on the campaign, as well as the variant cover that he's going to make for me. And I have no idea what it looks like yet because he's going to start after this week.
Oh, an air of mystery then. That's good.
How is if you're selling original pages, how is that gonna work shipping this side of the pond? With
with Love and Quarter 3, I send them in A3 envelopes, backboarded, and I put the page in between two more backboards, and then I ship out the comics.
Yeah,
like the comics are
with a Critical Blast and that deal that you've set up with him, or will that be?
No, I will be sending those personally because in that way I can ensure that it's to my own standards of shipping.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
Mike, your campaign looks really, really good, and you've already funded the other 3 books in Cora. So backers.
I paid the first 2 myself, actually. The first 2 I didn't crowdfund at all. They were paid out of my own pocket together with my ex, the original co-creator of Fairies and Ants. Yeah. And they just went like hotcakes on conventions. And after COVID hit, like a week before all conventions in the Netherlands were shut down, I finished Live on Cora 2. So I was crying because, but yeah, then she left and she didn't want to work on Love and Cora anymore. So I looked for new writers. I hired a colorist, and that's where Live on Cora 3 came from. And yeah, I'm set up to Love on Cora 10 by now. Like my writers are going insane in this world.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's really cool how far ahead you've planned for this. Are we going to see all of these eventually in, say we get to 10 issues of Cora, are we going to get a collection?
Oh, yes. That's going to be a really nice, big hardcover. Like, that's the one thing that I'm going to go for, and I'm actually going to add pages with world building and, actual parts of my essays that I wrote on the world's physics and everything. Like there's going to be a lot more concept art in there, and probably a bestiary. So you're actually going to see all the creatures and all the background creatures that you don't go over in the single issues. Like yeah. I got plans because it's too much fun to build this world.
If Rob were here, he would definitely not let Mike get away with saying big hardcover scot-free.
Shall I tell you something retarded I did with my campaign?
Go on.
And this is really stupid. Well, I say it's stupid, but Inkspots is colouring my campaign. And he said, believe me, this is not unheard of. So he'd been working on this book for about 4 or 5 months. And he turned around and said to me, I hope you don't mind me asking. I said no. He went, can I have the script so I know exactly what I'm colouring? And I went,
Oh
and then I went, oh yeah.
I had the same happen to me. Like my colorist came, like she started on the first pages and she went, okay, so what tunnels are actually memories and which one are not? And you know, I went over it on every single page with her and everything. And at some point I was like, sweetheart, you do know the script is in the Google Drive as well. And you know, she stopped replying for 5 minutes and went, fuck.
He produced all these pages where the colours were perfect. So I just was like, oh yeah, okay. And then he sent
Yeah,
me
you're
that
fine, whatever.
He sent me that one of the train, which is probably the most stunning page I can show you on the campaign so far. And I was like, this dude's nailing it. Didn't even dawn on me to see the script, right? And then I said to him, I am so sorry. I must look like a right idiot. He said to me, do you know that most people forget to send colorists the script? They really do.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of it myself.
So all I'm going to say is, you wait and see what pages he's turning out now. He has all the right colours.
If it helps, Charlie, try working with Commie Mark. He hasn't even got a script done.
Oh, mom.
Please promise me.
Mom.
Please promise me. Please promise me that he has Leica written in the script. I want to know if that is written in the script. Because you know what? Yam was watching one of his videos the other day, right? And he had the subtitles on. And he said that the was coming up in the subtitle. I don't know. What can I say? I've watched too much Commie Mark. It's not right. It's not right. People are going to start talking. The only thing is, Yam's on the show with him. So maybe they're going to start talking about them too. Maybe I don't have to worry. But yeah, so I'm curious as to the title of the show tonight. So what do you want to talk about that? I'm interested.
Good segue. Good segue, Charlie. Steer us back on track.
Speaking of Mark, boobies. Yeah.
But
yeah, I saw that come by too.
The reason I say that is because actually you having Piper and I here is actually a really good point to talk about that, because Piper and I were both very active on that thread.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
And even more importantly, Piper and Charlie are the latest additions to the Twisted Fairy Tales team.
We are.
Ooh, nice.
We are.
Awesome.
And it turns out that now I potentially I'm going to be inking my own story. I'm not drawing it, but I'm inking my own story.
You're enjoying inking.
Nice.
I keep seeing your tweets.
Huh?
You're enjoying inking at the moment.
I tell you what, when I sold that Cyberfrog on that auction for $200, I nearly fell off the chair. I was like, who is buying my crap for this amount?
Story of my life.
No. I was really I really liked it, and that was the Cyberfrog piece was the first one I'd done where it was the pencils and the inks and everything was just me. I used a part of one of the pictures, I think it was from Blood Honey, one of the stances of Cyberfrog eating different Blood Honey. But then I decided I wanted to create this sort of Sin City Frank Miller thing going on with that one light going in.
Oh my.
Whoa.
Oh dear.
What was that?
What did I miss?
Something exploded.
Somebody rubbed their microphone against their hairy balls by the sound of it, to be fair.
Most people find it flattering when I do that.
Oh shit.
At least you can hear me. That's proof, I suppose.
The funny thing was, when I was drawing that picture, messaged it to Piper and said, I'm going for a Frank Miller thing. And she said, I can see it. So that was quite cool.
Yeah, it turned out awesome.
I didn't realize you drew that as well. That's cool.
Yeah. It took me hours. I think it was about 5-6 hours to draw that. Because people don't realise Cyberfrog's a really interesting one to draw because he doesn't look anything like Cyberfrog until you're on the very final stages of it.
Yeah.
He doesn't look the way you think, and you're constantly thinking this is going to go wrong, this is going to go wrong. But I was really impressed because I was using all the new tools that people were telling me to buy, like the proper like circles, and I've got that pencil now that Ethan uses, the metal one, which I will say, oh my god, when you use them, the weight of them, they are so nice to draw with. It's got an added weight that was really, really good for drawing. So the metal one, the Stedler. I've forgotten what it's called now. It's a Stedler. But yeah, it's they are really, really good. The blue ones, you can get them with either the blue pencil inside it, or ordinary graphite. Yeah, but my one's just the ordinary HB graphite one. They're just refillable. But it's just I really enjoyed it. I really liked it, and the arm of it, I tried something different and it worked out. The arm was actually in black. What I did was I created the arm out of shadow with white out and white paint. So that's what that was.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm very much I'm very thankful to Art T Bear for that one. He told me all the different things to use, and yeah, it's cool.
Cool.
But Comicsgate's a hate group, and they don't like women. And
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, guys,
now, ladies, if you could pipe down while the men are talking, that would be great. Yeah.
Hey,
grabbing that.
I'm kidding. Don't kill me. I'm kidding.
You can fuck off. You've got bigger boobs than I have, so you just
you leave my boobs out of this. All right.
They're just jealous that theirs aren't as big, Dave.
Boobies. Yeah.
Mine are great.
Comicsgate is just a hat group.
I haven't got a hat.
And it's only a hat group because there's so many bald people in it as well.
True.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of bald people.
It's a wig group too.
It is So yeah, let's talk about this, guys. What do you want to talk about?
Right. Yeah. So, for those not watching, all the controversy began this week when J. Scott Campbell fired back at someone criticizing his work, someone called Non-Binary Finn, who did a fix
Sorry, that's such a stupid
of that classic Scott Campbell piece, which I heard a rumor. I heard he actually got Dave to pose for him when he drew that Mary Jane piece, and it's unconfirmed, but I think that's what. Yeah, the original.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I can see that. I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know everyone on the show today knows about this. So so it all started when J. Scott Campbell fired back and refixed the fixing of his work, which I'm pretty sure everyone in Comicsgate got behind him on this one, because that's exactly what you should do. Stand up for yourself.
Well,
and we're always talking about how. Yeah.
So some people on the other side stood up, agreed with him or backed him on this as well. It wasn't just CG.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I just want to clarify that so it doesn't look like it's
because
CG versus the
we're
rest.
always talking about this.
Like, a lot of people stood up to this because yes, he fucking served the non-binary thing, and it was glorious. And this is the right thing to do. Just be above it, and kudos to him. Like, he's not. I mean, I'm not familiar with his art. Otherwise, I knew the cover because everybody knew that cover. But to actually see him come back on this, this is the right thing to do.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't even come off as malicious. It comes off like, okay, well, I can play this game too. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, really, all he's doing there is standing up for himself and just standing up for good artistry, really, and which is exactly what CG is all about, really. You know,
Okay.
What I
Can I
loved
just say
about
that-
this, what I loved about this at this stage was when people were attacking him. He said something and it really made me laugh. I burst out laughing. He went, "New phone, who dis?" Right? And I was like, "You're savage!" Like I was really loving it, and like I think I can't remember who I said it to. Piper, I think it was you when I said, "Why has he got a leg as an arm?" Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
you said, yeah.
was the worst.
You did.
And I don't get. Look, at the end of the day, I will tell you what I think has happened here, but I'll let you guys get on with going through this a little bit more. But yeah, it was ridiculous. And to be fair to to Jay at this point, this picture does the round like every 2-3 years. Some
Yeah.
arsehole just pulls it out of obscurity and goes "Meh, meh, 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 meh," because
Yes.
like. And I've got a theory in why it's always the same dotards that do this, right? They were scared of the breast at birth. That's all it's to do with. Mummy couldn't breastfeed. There was nothing but powder kegs going on there, right?
that's the thing, Charlie.
Or the mom was called Helga, was 3 meters in all directions, and any child would be scared shitless of that.
I just think that there's more. When a man is scared of boobs, the way that some people go on, it's not about are they gay? No, it's like there's something deep rooted there. That's some Norman Bates shit that is lingering. I swear to God. Yeah. There's more.
Fucking cheers.
I know some very camp gay men that still love to rub their head in a pair of good boobs, right? So it's
Oh
not
yes.
being gay.
Oh yes.
That needs to be on a t-shirt, that does.
You're going to regret asking me on here. You know that, don't you? It's going to be a thing.
Oh yeah, guys, I spotted this parody floating around as well. A fix of
Oh,
Sam
God,
Keith's
yeah.
terrible art. I
I love that one.
I like
Yes.
more art.
Dan Fragger shared this as well. I'm so sure he did. Dan Fragger shared this. I think
Yeah.
that's where I first saw it.
And
I love
I was-
those. It's great.
I was just pissing myself because I recently bought like the first few issues of Sam Keith's work, and yeah, I was just pissing myself over this. It was hilarious. But then the story moves on, guys, because I know you all know this, but he tweets out
Yeah.
to get serious for a moment, and then it's in this second paragraph here where he says, "Let me make this as clear as I possibly can. I am completely and totally against any bigoted comments, anti-LGBTQ, anti-trans, hate speech of any kind, threats, any of that sort of thing. I have no affiliation with Comicsgate. I am not alt-right, not anti-woman, nor endorse any fringe groups that push hate." And it's in that sentence where the controversy began.
Yeah, I mean that was a really fucked up state.
Well, the thing that goes beyond, and I think that was in the last paragraph or the third one, I'm not entirely sure, but he actually further went on that statement, and that's where most people went, but dude, you were literally on CG shows, you were literally talking to us,
Yeah.
and yeah, like
He shared,
something is not right here, dude. You know,
shared loads
if
of
you're not,
videos in it of people talking about it on YouTube, and it's like, these are good, and it's like, how can you say these are good if you've done said everyone's a Nazi? It
Yeah.
doesn't say in this bit anyway.
yeah,
But yeah.
Yeah.
and fine, okay, you know, people were pretty pissed, and I can understand that. I mean, yeah, I mean,
I don't.
He would have been that pissed if he had come out and said all these things, and then he had said something along the lines at the bottom of, "I understand that there is some controversy with the way people see the Comicsgate community. I appreciate your interactions. Peace, farewell." Right?
Yeah.
nobody would have had an issue because it's Zack Snyder all over again. It's lumping a load of sentences together and then shoving CG in there, and this is the problem. I mean, and you know, that's what really wound a lot of us up. I mean, I woke up the next morning and I read it, and I didn't go in attacking. In fact, I think I went in and I simply said, you need to talk to the people that are actually here, right?
Yeah.
And I think that comment that got like 120 likes or something, because I wasn't.
Yeah.
I feel right at the end of the day, I'm not going to come in and be all like shirty with you, whatever, because it's not going to win me any. It's not going to even get him to respond. It's literally just going to cause a more of a. To be fair, it's going to make those people over on the other side that hate us anyway just use it to play victim. But my main issue with posts like this isn't even how he wrote it, because let's just give him the benefit of the doubt that maybe he did type it up really quick and didn't think, right? It is the fact that by making something like that, you're actually dividing the communities even more, because we don't even want to deal with anti-CG. And in an ideal world, there wouldn't be anti-CG. There'd just be us over here doing our thing, you guys over there doing your thing, you bump into each other at conventions, okay, cool, but we don't really like the same stuff, that's fine, right? Now, but that's not how it is. That is not how it is. And I wish, the best analogy I can think of was, I wish that all of this was the way that anti-CG treat us, was more like football rivalry. You know, you don't like the opposition team, they're all a bit of a wankers, but at the end of the day, one day they beat you, then you beat them, and it's sport, and that's the end of it, right? I kind of wish it was a bit more like that. But it's not that. I mean, I read that thread, and I will tell you, I saw more insult and more disgusting language from the other side to us than the other way round.
Oh, yes.
Well, let me tell you, like, a thought I'm having right now. It seems to me, like, when I was reading through those threads, that J. Scott Campbell mostly formed his opinion on Comicsgate based on what other people surrounding him had told him. And
and
he admitted as such too. He flat out admitted that. Yeah.
So then I want to ask you guys, do you think, for example, things like Comicsgate Wikipedia are part of the bigger problem as to why Comicsgate has this bad rap? For example, when you say Comicsgate, this is the first thing that comes up, and in the opening paragraph, it describes Comicsgate as targets women, people of color, and LGBT folk in the comic book industry.
Right, two things here.
Absolutely false.
Yeah, and I want to bring something in here. Myself and someone else in CGUK, if they want to step forward and name themselves, that's fine. Mark, have been doing a bit of research on this. Listen, if there's a bus along, I'll throw him under it. He knows that. He's a communist. It's on its way to the gulag anyway, it doesn't matter. But we were doing a bit of deep diving in this, and we found that we're pretty sure that the person that owns the keys to this section of that Wikipedia is a comic pro.
Well,
and that we are pretty sure that they won't relinquish it for love nor money, and this will always stay this way. Now, I also know that there have been attempts to make other Wikipedia pages which have come down in a matter of minutes by said pros, right? I, myself, did a little bit of an experiment and edited Ethan's Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
3 minutes later, it was changed back. Someone is actively watching these Wikipedia pages. Of all the major Comicsgate pros, the Comicsgate Wiki, this is a big thing because of the fact it's the first thing you see. So there are various other things that we can do to do this. So Mark is looking at the whole, I think it's Comics Vine thing. He's been doing these really, really good interviews with his pros, and he's been building these Comics Vine pages. We've also been collecting up archives of different Comicsgate publications, things that have been about Comicsgate that are not anti. And the way to sort of get around this is if you create a source and the footnotes or the references are reputable articles, no one can then remove the articles. So we're never going to get this taken down. The way you get round it is to build your own. And that's kind of what we've been looking at how to do it. Because this destroys what we're doing. This page here, it's all right, J. Scott Campbell going, we'll sort your PR out, do some charitable work. We could do the next Live Aid, right?
Yeah.
That Wikipedia will still follow us around. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
Can I just say something very controversial, which is going to get me a lot of hate, but I honestly feel like it needs to be said.
Go on, then.
When Comicsgate started, there were professionals being harassed by Comicsgate members. Not all Comicsgate members, but that did happen. So people like myself who have joined after that's happened, like, I have to live with that history because that history's already happened. Nothing I can change that. But that did happen, which is why these pages exist.
Well, yes, partially, but
no.
Kick Jacobus.
inflated by,
Yeah.
obviously they're not written by CGers.
Unfortunately, the harassed and actually pinning it on Comicsgate as a group are just two totally different ball games, really. Because the supposed harassment generally came in the form of the pro picking a fight and some people not liking it, and not appreciating it. And then them calling that harassment. Okay, so Campbell was trying to call everybody replying to his statement harassment. And he was going, see, my friends were right about Comicsgate because look at what a mess I have now. Was flat out it. And that we were being annoying. And that meant that everybody, all the pros were right about Comicsgate because there's a lot of us. And we all replied to the same stuff. And he decided that was harassment and crap. So when the pros are like, oh my God, I'm being harassed, it's more they got negative feedback. And they called that harassment.
Did you notice as well yesterday? I think Mandy and I were commenting on the same thread. And she was typical Mandy lovely self. She was totally respectful to him. In fact, I think she called him Sir, bless her heart, at one point. She was very respectful. You could tell she was a fan and she just wanted to diffuse the situation. And there were people that were underneath that were just saying things like generating that whole speech about the hate thing and that.
Yeah.
What made me chuckle was I came in and I liked Mandy's comment and then I commented. He then called, I'm sure it was to me and her, but that thread was very confused. So if it wasn't, then, but he definitely did say to one that I was on that you guys are acting like a bunch of Jehovah's Witnesses, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there thinking, well, this goes to show how these guys reading this, they only it's fake outrage because any normal person would be, why are you making fun of Jehovah's Witnesses now on top of everything else? But nobody said that, meaning that it was just fake outrage. It was genuinely fake outrage.
Yeah.
So
I just think it's ridiculous that he's like, why are you replying to this controversial thing I said? He expected one person to be a representative and go, I'm sorry, sir, blah, blah. No, you called a whole bunch of people that. So a whole bunch of people are going to respond to you and tell you just called a whole bunch of people a lot of bad things they're not.
I'm quite happy. I don't know about you guys, but the way I see it is I feel positives and negatives here. Maybe I'm a bit too soft. I don't know. But the positive for me is that the conversation was said and then people very respectively jumped in and showed him that it's not true. I mean, before I went to bed last night, I dipped onto Ethan's stream and I said, if you go and read that thread, you will see that a lot of women came out to defend Comicsgate. And now it's documented. This is the thing, you see. It's now documented on social media that there are a lot of us women out there, which is important. And equally, a lot of us women that know about comics. We know about this stuff. We can talk about this stuff. It's not just, we're here because or whatever, we like the drama or I don't know, whatever silly reasons they come up with. But there was that thing of it. Maybe he genuinely didn't realise what he was getting himself in for. I don't believe that really, because I think that he's been around long enough and he knows exactly the situation. I didn't really think it was very respectful as well. He pulled Ethan into that conversation, and Ethan never jumped in that thread until he got pulled in there. And he was like, I don't, and he was like referring to us as a club, and there was the typical crap about, you know, EVS being the leader of the gang and all this bullshit. And it was just like the same old narrative constantly. And it was just like, okay, fair enough. Now, I, as a very reasonable person, I'd say, I'm prepared to leave it that he's made his clarification statement where he's, you know, cut it all off yesterday. And I am quite happy to leave it there and carry on my way.
Yeah.
And then be fine. I haven't commented on nothing else on there.
Yeah.
But if it comes up again, I'm going to know that what you said, my friends, is you're bullshitting now. Because if you're a decent human being, you do leave it at the door that you put it out yesterday. And I'm willing to believe that's what he's doing. That's about it for me. I don't know how anyone else feels. Yeah. That's about it.
I feel like he got threats because so many CG were coming to, you know, back him up on his stance on, you know, art fixing and art censorship and all that stuff. And somebody went, I don't know, you're hanging out with Comicsgate. I feel like he could have made his original statement without naming Comicsgate at all. He could just be like, I'm against all these things. Exactly. And then we could have been like, oh, cool, us too. Sweet. We're on the same page.
I don't affiliate with any groups. Neither, like, nothing anti this, nothing anti this, nothing anti this.
All he had to do was say, I'm not affiliated with any group, but I'm anti all this stuff. And he very much could have left it like that. And I feel like he knows he could have, and then there wouldn't be a controversy. Like, he just got done with one. You would think he had enough attention from that. But I feel like he needed some more, or somebody like really flat out said, no, you need to denounce Comicsgate by name specifically. Or we're going to keep calling you all these things, even if you're saying you don't believe in all these things.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to believe that. What bugged me in the multiple threads I was in, and responding in, if an anti came in there and said anything nasty about Comicsgate, boom, he would reply right away with, yeah, right on. I feel that way too. But everybody that was saying positive stuff, man, no.
Piper, there was a point yesterday I did have to laugh. I nearly screenshotted it just to show you that how out of control that was getting. I had a notification that said, Piper has commented on 33 tweets that you're tagged in. And I was like, no, but I don't think it was meant that it was you. I just think it was that you and I ended up being wrapped in this thread that was just.
Yeah, I was responding to my notifications and replying to the threads that I guess I was. Because one of them I was in because I was defending his art by some nasty person, and he jumped in to talk to the nasty person, and I was like, well, yeah, right on. I kind of just said that, but that's cool. Whatever.
I saw that one. Yeah, like completely jumped beyond like what was actually being said and where he was being defended.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, okay. I mean, I already said that. But yeah, I was just replying to notifications I was getting. And even I was like, man, I am talking a lot. But whatever.
I don't.
But yeah, the second anybody would say anything nasty, be it to me or in that thread, because some of them, it was like directly like to me in the thread. And he jumped in like right on. I'm like, awesome. I really want to keep separating the art from the artist and stuff, and I really want to like you, dude, but you really seem like this is a bad faith, whatever. And then he actually talked to me.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, like a day after I stopped talking, he actually talked to me my older stuff. And the problem I had then was he went from I'm going off of what I read to, oh no, I'm going off of specifically stories from my friends and personal stories from my friends and colleagues. He said that directly to me, and I was like, well, that's weird because you just told these other people that I read that too. And I'm like, so what is it? Which is it? Like, personal accounts, or they showed you a wiki page and that was that. Like,
Yeah.
To be
I
fair,
think that. Go on, Jack.
I was just gonna say, to be fair, how many pro comic artists do you know? How much time must he have spent replying
Yeah.
to CG people and non-CG
Oh, yeah.
people?
oh, I know,
No
but
one else would have done that.
my biggest issue with that though is the second somebody said something nasty about CG, instantly in every
Yeah.
single, because I was in multiple threads that like were created from like one message, and I was tagged in, or however I ended up in them. But the second any anti-CG would come in and say the nastiest stuff, boom, like seconds later,
Yeah, but what
he
I
was
mean
there
is-
going, yeah, I agree, or yeah, that's been my experience, or yeah, seems so, and crap like that. And I'm like, okay. So you can reply to those, but every single person being positive. And then he would tell me, you got to understand that I'm getting a bunch of negative crap. And I'm like, well, I'm in, I don't know how many freaking threads now.
Yeah.
But everybody has been nice and polite and trying to have a conversation in these threads. So if you're only bothering to pay attention to the people that are just done with this crap, that are being knee-jerk reactionary, well, fuck you too. For one, that's the worst I saw from anybody was, well, fuck you too then. I'm like,
Yeah,
that's not exactly that toxic. That's somebody that's just sick of pros doing this at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed yesterday, and I laughed because I could hear him say it, not because I agreed with the sentiment. I just want to say that, right? But it was when Kelsey came in and just went,
yeah,
I actually don't care about this. I just want you all to shut the fuck up, right? And what
that
made
was
me
it.
laugh-
That was, I was in that stupid thread. He came in because that one anti chick was like, CG just likes you until they can use you.
That's it. That's what it was.
Or until they can't use you anymore. And I'm like, how the hell does that even work? What are you talking about? He jumped in immediately. This was a long ass thread where I was saying a bunch of positive stuff. Everybody was saying positive stuff. So an anti came in that, flat out has this account is made to shit on Comicsgate, like they have no life. They came in and said that, and he instantly, within seconds, was like, yeah, seems that way, I agree, or something like that. And I'm like, what the fuck? This entire thread was positive until this one person came in and said that. And boom, seconds, you're sitting there agreeing with that. And then Kelsey comes in and goes, I don't care. Or I don't care about using any of y'all. I want you to shut up. Or I can't remember how he worded it. But yes, it made me laugh. It was funny.
I have no interest in using any of you. I just want you to shut the fuck up. Yeah, but what made me laugh? It wasn't that he was saying that. It was more of the fact of I just had visions of Kelsey kicking a door down with a bottle of bourbon in one hand and just literally going, I'm not a nerd. Shut the fuck up. That was all it was. And I was waiting for him to offer J. Scott Campbell a consensual hug. I was to hug it out, and then I was like, okay, we all know where this might be going. So no. I think and COVID Kevin in the chat said a really interesting point. He said it's way past time to drop the gate and the hashtag. We all know and support each other by now. We can dig our own well, but the Twitter losers live to find poison in it. That, to be fair, I think that is this is the problem. We all use the hashtag. It's like the bat signal, isn't it? It's so we all know that everybody's there. But that also is a problem because that's how antis find you.
Yeah, that's the big thing is the hashtag is useful. It helps you find other people that, aren't going to shit on you or hold, some of the same ideals, at least in our entertainment or something. So it is an easy way to find each other or look for, if you're a writer looking for an artist, but you want to make sure that, y'all are on the same page, at least in terms of your beliefs in our entertainment and stuff. That is why, though, that I don't put that in my profiles and stuff, because I feel like I don't need to post it all over my work. I don't need to post it all over my profile, because like any other like arbitrary descriptive, I feel like that's not something that you need to put in those places. It's just easy way to find people. Like most hashtags, easy way to find things. Yeah, that means that anti-CG uses it for that too. But that's any hashtag. Somebody can look up a hashtag to shit on the people using the hashtag. And they do with every hashtag.
Oh, yes.
What made me laugh with that same person was Mike S. Miller got involved as well.
Yeah.
And then he put something and she came back really sarcastically and she went, well, I completed my minor in history or something, and well, that was like a red rag at a ball to me, and I come in and went, oh really? I was like, oh, I've got a degree, 2 masters, and a teaching qualification in history. Haven't you learned from the past yet? And then she never replied, and I was like, boom, I have some of that. But again,
mic drop.
I saw you and Sniller right after I had enough of her and blocked her so that I would stop getting. I started getting notifications for the thread still, and it was you two, and I was like, I think she just got owned, but I'm already done. So.
No, but the thing was, at that point, no one was even. It became like J. Scott Campbell's thread became a forum. Like, it wasn't even about what he said anymore. Like, no one was actually saying. I mean, don't get me wrong. There is part of me that feels for him in the fact that must have become exhausting, because I know it was exhausting for you and I just being involved in that.
Yeah, I was getting tired, but I was still replying to stuff that I thought, I had a legitimate, thing to say about and stuff. So, I mean, I kept going because I felt like it was worthwhile to try. But I do understand that when you've got like a gazillion freaking followers, you're J. Scott Campbell. Like that his notifications have to probably still be screwed as hell.
Oh God, yeah.
Which I was giving him the benefit, I was giving him that, like when it felt like he was passing over everybody that was being positive. At first I was like, well, he's flooded. Hopefully he saw it. And the only thing that made me go, wait a minute, was how fast he was replying to anybody saying anything negative about us. When he was going that fast, like on it, anytime anything was negative, I was like, no, he's intentionally ignoring all of these people that are being polite and just trying to explain why they didn't appreciate being like called stuff they're not.
I've got a question for you guys then, because this is what I thought was quite interesting. So he works for Marvel now, I believe, doesn't he? He's contracted to Marvel, J. Scott Campbell.
Right.
Sure
I think currently, yeah. I think it's Marvel currently.
Well, do you think that Marvel thought that they were going to have another Gina Carano situation on their hands? Do you think he got a night letter?
Possibly, yeah.
Because
it sure seemed like it for him going, because nobody was really bringing Comicsgate up when we were going on about his art. There wasn't a reason to. We were just, people that agreed with him, how he handled his art critics and stuff. And then all of a sudden, he said that the reason he made this statement was because people on Instagram were telling him that he was Comicsgate for it or something.
Oh God!
And I'm like, well, that's convenient that there's no evidence of that on Twitter, yet you're posting this statement on Twitter. Seems like something you could have just left to Instagram or something. But
to be honest, my 2 pence on it is that he definitely 100% got at least one concerned phone call as soon as the Comicsgate stuff started appearing on his feed.
Yes.
And with that, I do feel a little bad for him in the fact that I think every single person around him in his real life, in his colleagues, anyone, like a lot of his comic fans on Instagram, because Comicsgate doesn't have a huge following over that side of things. It's mainly Twitter.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was weird that he was saying it was an Instagram problem, and I'm like,
Yeah,
are you sure?
Every single one of these people has probably told him how bad Comicsgate is, how everyone's a sexist, a homophobe, or whatever.
Yeah.
So from that point of view, I suppose if you're getting told from on every single side that we're bad people, unless you do a deep dive into it and actually, like you said, read all of these comments and experience it yourself, that's what you're going to think. I think the fact that he's put out the clarification statement after shows that he's realized he was wrong, and that it's his way of kind of trying to make up for it while not also pissing off potentially his bosses and all his colleagues around him. So in that respect, I think that was probably the best he could have done in the situation without.
Oh yeah, I think he did good. I think he made good. I was honestly just happy with the fact that he did start talking to me and having a legitimate conversation. Because I was like, that's already him acknowledging that, I'm me. And whatever. That's way more than most of the other pros that'll sit there and be like, oh no, boss man said Comicsgate. I don't want to get blacklisted. I'm going to use the blockchain, or already are using the blockchain. The fact that he wasn't already was why I even tried. Like, that's why I even kept replying in those threads, was he doesn't have a blockchain with us all on it. So he at least acknowledges that that's stupid and limiting your fans and all that good stuff. And I was like, so there's hope. Then he started talking back, and I was like, all right, well, and he kind of like apologized here and there to people, to me and stuff, saying, yeah, I guess the way I wrote it sucks. And I'm like, whether that's a sincere mistake and apology or not, whatever, we're actually getting something from this, from trying, where he's listening. At least a little bit, because it seemed like selective listening at first. Now it's not as selective sounding, so maybe he legitimately is listening. And then he released that statement, and I'm like, that's cool, because once he finally stopped saying, why are y'all trying to get me to join your club, which nobody was, when he finally stopped trying to say that, I think he finally started listening to the fact that every single person was saying, that's not it. It's just that we're your fans and we don't like being called things we're not. That's it. That's all. That's all the problem is right now, bro.
I think the whole club thing is one of CG's biggest flaws at the moment, is that people outside of it look at it like that, like it's a club, like it's some sort of members only looking thing, and everyone within it's the same. Whereas we've got to start promoting individuals. Like you said, you had that conversation with him. I was reading some of that, and it was quite impressive, actually, the depths it was going. But that's what we need to do. We need to show people that everyone in Comicsgate is different. Like, we've got lefties, righties, we got black, white, Cuban, Asian, bit of Fresh Prince for you.
What's going on there? In Miami, kicking around.
We've got gay, straight, in between, whatever like you want to be. And no one cares. No one gives a shit. Like, only they do. That's it.
Yeah, I feel like nobody needs to even technically wave a CG banner in any kind of way. I feel like CG was just a set of ideals that brought fans together, and creators, finally went, we're all fans. We're all sick of this stuff. Let's make our own shit. So creators started making their own shit. You get told don't like it, make your own enough times, and hey, maybe they're going to go do it.
Well, the bottom line
don't be surprised when they go do it.
What bottom line is, there are a lot of edgelords in CG, whether it's their personality, their sense of humor, their online persona, whatever. But are you trying to tell me the likes of Art T. Bear and bloody Billy Tucci are these nasty alt-right thugs that are like terrorizing women? Have you ever spoken to those guys? And that's only two that I've plucked off the top of my head. You've got Graham Nolan, Jesus Christ, Andy Smith. These people are so, Peter Sametti, all these people that are the nicest of guys. And I'm only talking like about, the people that we all know like that. But there's also the level of CG that we talk to on a daily basis, like everybody on this panel, all the CGUK guys, like the guys that I talk to regularly. We've said this so many times on shows. If it wasn't for the groups that we are so attached with, a lot of us mentally wouldn't have made it through lockdown and came out the same end.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have done it. It was the amount of times that we've had hangouts where we've chatted about these things, like different things, not even necessarily comic book stuff. Piper, how many times when we used to finish the ladies' night show, how many times did me, you and Mandy sit there and one of you would be like, Charlie, what's that light in the background? Oh shit, it's the sun coming up.
Yep.
You know, we used to spend more time off air than on air.
Yeah, I know. I used to just chat before and after the show.
It was.
Yeah.
And so I think there's a lot here that people, I mean, what do they think we sit and do in our private time when we're not streaming? Like what? Plan assassinations and like, you know,
right?
You know,
here's the next pro we're gonna go annoy. No, all it is it started out as fans first before creators started really being like, I agree with my fans, so I'm going to go where my fans are. And it's so a lot of times the edgelords generally tend to be the ones that are just comic fans. And that's because, I mean, that's who they are. That's who they want to be. I'm not going to police fans. Nobody can, and nobody should feel they have to police their fans. I mean, unless they're flat out telling their fans specifically to go do something, then yeah, that's pretty screwed up. And outside of that, it's any creator that's gone where their fans are, or fans turned creator. Like I said, well, fine, we will make our own crap then,
Yeah.
Piper, that's not good endorsement. Fine, we'll make our own crap. Like that.
Well, you know what I mean, though. Like, all the ones that are like, don't like it, don't buy it. Okay, I won't. That's pretty much the fans. And then don't like it, go make your own. Okay, well, I'll go make what I do like and what my friends like, and hopefully what other people like. And so, CG just kind of a catch-all banner that helps us all find each other. And outside of that, it's the creator-wise, it's holding creators to the same standards that we were, that we expected from the pros that we're now jaded and don't care about anymore. Yeah. We hold the creators in the group. We hold them to the same thing. No block bots, no block lists. Accept real constructive criticism and, listen to your fans. Not that each individual fan can boss you around, because you're never going to please everybody, but at least listen, and not dismiss them and call them stuff. Like, it's so easy, but yeah.
I'm going to interrupt a second because our other bargain bin members just joined us. We have Rob on the show. But I can't. One second. Dave's away from keyboard, so I'm going to remove him briefly just to bring Rob on. How you doing, Dave?
There we go.
Hey, what's up? Yo, what's up? Hello.
Woo!
Now, just really quickly, I was about to say that for me, and I've said this so many times, the CG book for me, that really is the book. Not the book to beat. I'm trying to think of the way to put this. The book to me that is on a pedestal of some sort is 110 million% Peregrine. The reason being, the reason being, and I've said this to Optimus before, is you guys built your channel, you built a brand, you released the book, and you made over $50,000, and you sold it to over 1,000 backers by building that yourself. Like, I know that I'm not far behind you, but I've got a well-known IP and I launched on one of the biggest Comicsgate channels. Right? I never, ever take that for granted, and I'm thankful every day. But you guys, you've done so much with Peregrine, and it is a classic, beautiful style superhero book where, to me, Marvel and DC should be biting your hand off for that franchise. A book like Peregrine should not exist as an independent book. It should be up there with, like, you could imagine her flying in the sky and supporting Wonder Woman or something like that, or being part of the X-Men. This is not a character that should exist on her own, but she does because they're not taking any notice of what we like and what we want.
I do kind of love that part of the inspiration for her was people anti-CG and other pros going, yeah, well, CG will never have an iconic superhero like, you know, all of ours and stuff. And we were like, challenge accepted. Let's try to design one.
Right. So, yeah, I mean,
now that you've brought that up, guys, now that we brought Peregrine up, it'd be really cool to see where Peregrine would stack up in our CG Battle Royale. So I know this is a bit off topic, but we do this thing where we rank the various CG characters, and I want to put Peregrine on there. And
cool.
The way we do it, so you see the tiers on the left-hand side, right? So basically, we think, can your character beat a Nan? And
nice.
She's a tough old bird. She's a tough old bird.
Oh, little Charlie's on the bottom. What did he ever do?
yeah, that's the other
He's
thing.
got a cane. He's fine.
Charlie,
You can beat the Nan.
Charlie Chaplin go on this list. It'd be really cool if you could argue your case. Does Charlie Chaplin move up or down on this list?
Oh, I can't tell
Or
what
down.
what the next one up is.
Next one
henchman.
is the Foot Clan, so it's like henchman tier.
Yeah, I don't know if Charlie Chaplin can beat a whole clan of ninjas, trained ninjas. I think he might have to stick with beating up grandma. Like,
Yeah, no,
with his cane.
To be fair, you can leave him down there. I mean, if you ever watch any of the old silent films, there's one where I think it's called The Boxer, and then there is actually a whole section in City Lights where he's boxing. It's quite a famous scene, but yeah, I don't think he'd last any rounds against some of these people. You definitely have Peregrine. He'd be the sort of person that Peregrine would be saving him from something. He'd be like holding on to the back of her, like, thank you.
And then
Charlie
Yeah, I
Chaplin
think-
used to beat up guys with big black mustaches. So if Gran has a big black mustache, I'll get my coat. Bring Dave back. Bring Dave back.
No, Charlie Chaplin needs to go to the top just because of the way anti-CG treats us, because he did literally punch Nazis.
Fair
True.
point.
yeah, Dr. Manhattan tier.
I think she'd definitely be on with the Superman tier.
Superman?
Yeah,
What's
I
it-
feel like she would be. I don't know if she could defeat Superman, but I feel like she would be on the Superman tier for having similar power sets for now.
Yeah.
Why is Dave saying we all suck?
Because
Because we won't let him back in.
he's not on.
Or is he going back to that film we was talking about earlier? I haven't got a clue.
Yeah. I tell you what, I'm going to cycle between Dave and Rob. But Rob, while
That's
you're here, do you want to give us a shout out for your books?
Oh God, no. Yes, okay. I could do that. Yeah. As soon as so step one was get my print it yourself PDF, catch up with the story. That all my backers, not my backers, all the people who sign up for the email list, they will get a copy of this in color, even, right? And I don't have a color printer. There's my black and white printed zine.
That's
mini
adorable.
zine. I know, it's so
Beautiful.
cute.
That's awesome, dude.
And then, but there's more. So, dun dun dun, indeed. Ta-da!
Oh shit!
Oh,
That is cool.
baby.
Nice.
Yeah, baby. So,
I approve, man. That's cool.
I feel it.
Cheers, dude. Cheers.
Thanking you. So I'm sure that my wonderful, curvaceous Dave has put the link up in the chat already, so I need say no more. I'll get my coat.
Very cool, very cool.
Take it easy,
Well,
dude.
thanks for coming on, dude.
Thanking you.
Thanks for showing up. I'm gonna.
Big thanks to Dave when he comes back.
I can't wait for you all to see what Dave's wearing right now.
I have a suggestion for your tiers. I think you need one above the God tier.
Right.
You need the Chuck Norris tier.
Chuck Norris tier.
Oh,
Dave,
yeah,
Dave,
that's
if you're gonna do that, please at least put a plate of cookies in front of you so you actually do the part. Come to the dark side with good cookies.
Dave, I need you to change your StreamYard's handle to Curvaceous Dave.
Did any of you guys, if you watched Peter Sametti's auction stream the other day, you'll see that one of his artists on there that works for Alterna had drawn a Sith version of Jar Jar Binks, and Dave now all of a sudden reminded me of this picture looking like a Sith version of of Dave, maybe.
You saying I fucking look like Jar Jar?
Yes.
Is that what you saying?
Is it Billy Dave time? Because that's my favorite part.
Dave, you look like Jar Jar.
Am I ready for bed? I am ready for bed. You know what, right? I love getting in bed early. I love it. It's so good.
Cheers.
Are you threatening to hit me or something else? Like, I don't quite know what's going on here. You were spicing me up, and now I'm scared.
No. Jan, it's not what you think, mate. No.
He's like, take her. She's getting on my nerves.
Anyway, Jan's mine, isn't he? That's what I thought. He's
You do talk like
Damn.
I talk like Jar Jar. That's Bristolian. That is fucking Jar Jar.
Definitely get some Jar Jar vibes from Dave.
Oh yeah, la. Oh, hello, me babbers.
All right, that was pretty good.
That was beautiful.
Oh, it's too hot in
Miss,
this
I
thing now.
Miss, I got lots of films from the charity shop.
Oh, that was
This is really bad.
Oh, fuck.
We bring Rob back in now if you want.
I think you should just make Bully Dave a segment. Like have a little graphic popped up. Like it's Bully Dave time.
Every Dave segment is every show.
To be fair, we do that to Jan as well, though, don't we? Like we do. It's like
You
today, I felt
You
so
only
sorry.
bully the ones you love. That's all it is.
That is very true. I felt very sorry for him today. I come in from work and I was like, and this happened, and this bastard, and he's sat there like you could see him looking at me going, this flat's been quiet all day without you. Now you're ruining my vibe. Like you can see. Like yeah, there we go. That's all gone quiet. What's going on?
It's all gone quiet.
Everyone's stunned by this horrible bullying that's going on.
We're not bullying you. I like the name. I like the name though, Dave. I'm gonna curvy sexy bitch. I like that. It's good.
One day we should all do a stream with like Bristolian and Dave's voice. Like everyone just try and do the
Just
accent that he's
imitating
got.
the accent. What?
That'd be awesome.
I don't mind doing that. I've already done a commie mark, haven't I? So I don't mind doing.
No, because all I can see from that is someone puts on a sumo suit and starts talking like a farmer. That's what's the fuck laughing at that.
Or you can speak like your farmer, or you can.
I can go proper Bristolian if you want me to, mate, but I'm not going to.
Do it then, mate.
What was you with a Brummie accent?
I'd like to hear that as well.
I can't do accents. I can do a really shitty Jamaican accent, but it's very racist.
Go on, do it.
I'm not
Yeah,
doing
Jar Jar
that.
accent, wasn't it?
Do it. Do it.
No.
Dave.
Do
Do
it.
it.
I can't do accents.
Pokemon.
My
Listen,
accent
yeah.
does not let me do accents.
What's the
Rob.
point in streaming if we don't get cancelled? Do it.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. No.
Rob is waiting to take that bottom corner. Rob can do accents and languages. You need
He
to
can.
fight for that
He
place.
No, I'm not doing an accent. I'm not doing it because any accent I do is going to come off really bad. Real
Do it,
bad.
man.
I don't even know what.
Do it, Mon. You got this.
No. Nope. I'm not doing it. Not doing it. No.
Oh well, if Dave's not going to do it, then Jacobus will, and he'll tell us all about twisted fairy tales in a Jamaican accent.
Oh shit! I gotta do the whole thing in a Jamaican accent.
Yeah, if I can.
Yes. Do it.
Alright, let's.
Well, the show was fun while that was lasting, guys.
In twisted fairy tales, man, the bargain bin team up with the others to create a comic book anthology not suitable for children.
What?
Hold on. My
Nailed
my wife is looking at me
Oh, no.
rather confused right now. Hold on.
Mrs. Like, you're being racist on the internet again with your Comicsgate friends. What you doing?
I'm
You
still,
fucker.
I'm
Good
still
man.
kind of bummed that somebody called Red Riding Hood before I did. Makes me
No,
sad.
you've got to do it like a proper London Jamaican accent. Rasta Bumba Clot.
What's the
Okay.
difference between what I did and what you did?
Because I'll threaten a shank
Oh.
you next, and then that's proper London.
Oh.
Alright, I need to get so aggressive.
I disavow everyone on this stream. I do not hate in any way.
Listen,
Oh,
I
Oh,
grew
that's
up
my
with
rhythm.
Rasta Mouse. Rasta Mouse is the best thing in the world.
yes.
I agree with that.
Fucking yes.
Piper has no clip. Piper, I'll send you a link to what the hell Rasta Mouse is.
Okay.
And
It's a kid's show.
another one that's a little more recent. Reggae Shark.
Reggae.
Reggae
Shark.
Shark. I know
Reggae
that.
Shark. Fuck
Wow.
Played that for the kids. I love it as well.
Oh, goodness
right,
gracious.
the Bargain Bin YouTube
No, it's still
channel
good.
have teamed up to create an anthology featuring many published artists and writers and giving opportunity to unpublished creators to achieve their dreams.
Bow, bow, bow.
You just said you're going to get French.
A bit French.
Forget.
I could be a.
Ho ho ho.
This mock cover design is definitely just a mock cover because Graphic Goose was making it and it looks amazing. I asked him to send me the file and he doesn't have it anymore.
Oh shit.
So he's going to redo it for us.
The dog ate his homework.
Pretty much, yeah. This is the free print that everyone gets with a physical backing if they sign up to the mailing list. And this is a bunch of the creators involved. Charlie's
That
London
one
is
in
on
the
it,
middle at
as
the
you
top
can
is
see.
fucking sexy, man.
If you
Oh,
say
it's me.
so.
I'm quite looking forward to my story. Well, basically, Jacobus and I were talking one day, and I was like, I have an idea for this particular story, and he's like, what is it? And when I told him, he went, that's pretty twisted. When can you start?
Yeah.
Ticked all the boxes. The obviously Piper's not in this picture because we confirmed after I updated this page, but Piper is involved.
Woo! I'm
And,
involved.
I'm confident there's other people involved that I just couldn't fit in the image. So I apologise to those people. But yeah, a bunch of awesome creators making fairy tales. I've forgotten what I've already said because it was in a different accent. But yeah, sign up now. Cause
Yeah.
it's
Guys, I'm doing Dave's
Like a
job.
lot.
I posted the link in the chat, so check it out. Sign up, guys.
Sorry, I don't feel like doing my job after being bullied.
oh, do you want to cuddle?
Oh.
Do you want to cuddle?
You want a sticker?
Yes, please.
Very good, Dave.
Okay. I'll hit me up after the stream. I'll send you a bunch of stickers.
Oh.
See, Michael's a good guy.
Yeah, it's just because he doesn't know you that well.
That could be true.
Oh, god. I do not support it.
Yeah, guys. Here's Rattle and Roll to New York, Newport, Rob's book. I post the link in the chat so you guys can check it out. Make sure you sign up so you can get that lovely print out zine and poster. That's really cool. Let me say really quickly as well. Hope you don't mind it if I do a little bit of shilling for myself because The Adventures of Taylor in Outer Space is
Oh, we've
landing.
seen this one.
Just a couple of times.
One more time. Bye. Let's bring Rob back in because Rob appreciates me.
Oh, who said
Welcome
that? Hello. Hello.
How you doing, Rob? Welcome back to the stream. You're now my new favorite bargain binner.
Oh, nice. Yay! Ariel. Your name is Ariel, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. But guys, here's the link. I want everyone watching to go and sign up to The Adventures of Taylor in Outer Space. Go check it out. It's gonna make your life better. Trust me. So here we go.
It's a life-changing experience.
I just realized Dave has here's the link to
That was a pretty looking thumbs up. I don't know, these young guys and their emojis, I just can't keep up.
Oh shit.
How about either of you two, Piper or Charlie's? Have you got anything you want to show us before we close out?
Well, my campaign in dollars is $2 away from 52,000.
There we go.
So that's but I didn't. I'm not really making a thing of that, and I'll tell you why. Because someone will very kindly buy a book, and it will go up, and then tomorrow Joe Biden will do something stupid, and then the dollar will go a week again, and I'll lose like $500. So I'm more interested in making sure that my backers are happy and they stay where they are, rather than the dollar is one. When it was about a month ago now, I think it was when Biden bombed Syria. I lost $1,500 overnight on my campaign because of the exchange rate. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't really money lost because I deal in pounds, don't I? So it's just the exchange rate. But my God, did that look a bit terrible when you was on an American stream? All of a sudden, it was like, "Yay, I hit 50,000." Oh no, I haven't. Hang on.
Oh, that hurts.
The problem is because most of my customers are American. Like most people in CG, even a lot of the silent film community that back my book are American. But I set my stretch goals to the dollar. So when I hit $50,000 and then I go, this is the stretch goal for 50,000, and then next day it's on like 48,500. You're like, oh crap! Like, what do I do now? I just leave the stretch goals up because technically it was hit. But that is quite funny. But yeah, I'm £100 away from 37,000 and $2 away from $52,000. So it's definitely going very, very well. I'm getting new pages and stuff all the time. Some of the artwork coming out of this campaign is absolutely incredible. We're on course to start fulfilling at the end of June. So yeah, it's all good.
Cool.
Really
That dollar thing is like what happened to COVID. Kevin, his campaign got funded, and then the dollar dropped, and it went back.
Yeah.
To not funded yet.
Oh,
That sucks.
Yeah, I don't get that though, because technically, I mean, but does it fund in pounds or it funds in dollars, doesn't it? Because it's in California. Because that was how I got a bit stung on my closing night when I went in demand. I worked it out that it was going to finish at 8 o'clock at night. I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. And then it didn't. It finished at 8 o'clock the next morning, and I was like, what? So that was a bit of a nightmare.
Go on, Piper. I just brought this link up.
There we go. So Hybrid Sons of God, The Killing Field Part 2. You can still get Part 1. I believe you can still get the older stuff, but they are being re-released bigger through Arrow Comics. So there'll be more content. My brain's dying. Something. Shoot.
Revised?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a
Something
good
like
one.
that.
Not the one I'm looking for, but yeah.
Remastered.
There we go.
Yeah,
That's the
there
one.
we go. Yeah.
This is why you keep me in the show.
Woo! Yeah, my brain was
Click,
dying.
goodbye.
So, starting from the beginning, the hybrid story is going to be re-released as a remaster, which again is some updated art, like scenes. Not super updated, so it'll match the remaining art, but extra content. And this campaign actually helped that one. So, but not only am I the editor on these books, but now I write Rift Riders that is going to appear in the back of the remasters.
Ooh.
So they'll have the Arrow comic logo on them, or they might all have it, but I believe you can get the first one remaster on here too. And there's so much cool stuff you can get on here. I'm hopefully going to be able to model one of the cosplays soonish, so that will be cool. Because you can get a cosplay starter kit for 2 of the female characters anyway.
Oh, that's cool.
And yeah, and then the RPG game is starting to get underway. And if you're just interested in that, I believe there's tiers just for it.
Cool.
Whereas it's probably a little more fun if you've read the comic that world that it's based on. And yeah, so I figured I would show this because Rift Riders is going to start. It's only a couple pages at a time in the back of them, but there will be an actual Rift Riders book that collects them all and expands on that too later.
Like the Arrow comics are going to be 32 pages total, and then you're going to do 22 page per issue.
Yeah.
For hybrids itself, then I mean.
Yeah, there's extra. Well, the hybrid story itself will also be expanded beyond 22 pages,
Cool.
and then, but then, yeah, some of those extra pages are also going to the little Rift Riders comic in the back. Rift Riders is meant for all ages, and so it's kind of like little, little short bits to see if you're interested, and then if you're like, well, this is an interesting comic, then you can start keeping an ear out for Rift Riders stuff too.
Yeah, I still need to talk to Randy about getting Love and Korra published through him, because he was very enthusiastic, and then we never talked again.
Oh no!
Like that was like a month ago, and I have been too busy on Love and Korra, so.
Yeah, dude, why don't you give us another shout out for Life on Korra?
Yeah, guys, go sign up for the email list. I'm actually giving out discounts for 30 to 40% off on every physical backer tier. So that means that you can get the physical copy of only Love and Korra 4 for only €7, so about $9 USD. And we managed to get the shipping to the US down to only €8, so about 10 USD. And those 30% off discounts, 30 to 40 actually for the higher tiers, that goes for all the plain comic tiers. So yeah, you can get some serious discounts, and like you can get the 32-page book for about $18 in total. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting this to people. Yeah,
cool.
I gotta thank Critical Blast for that one. He is awesome. Like we calculated, I'm down to roughly a couple of cents per copy to send it to America now. Like it's insane. Of course, you got the postage in America itself from his house, but for the most part, it's pretty damn cheap now.
That's great.
So,
yeah, good advertising for Critical Blast.
Like every story can be read separately. That's the whole point of the series. The first issue is 22 pages. Everything afterwards is going to be 32, and we're super excited. We're just going to keep going. We raised just under €1,100 on Love and Korra 3, and like the main issue was postage for people. We managed to bring it down, and I'm pretty sure that people are going to join for this one a lot more. And I'm really looking forward to getting this comic to even more people's hands.
Hey, very cool. So we're about to wrap up, but does anyone have any last words? Anything you want to shout out before we go?
Stay awesome.
YouTube.
Yeah, no, thanks for having us, and it's been a pleasure.
No problem, guys. No problem. So we do a gay wave to end every show. You two have your cameras off though, so what can we do?
Just imagine that I'm waving
super
faintly.
gay.
Yeah, just pretend. Yeah.
Just pretend. Everyone waves.
Bye. Toodaloo.